Welcome to this DVD, which has been prepared by the 7 Northern Region Metropolitan Councils to explain the changes occurring in aged and disability services. These changes are the most significant in 30 years and raise major challenges for local government's future role in service delivery. The DVD is just 5 minutes long and there are 2 associated documents: a policy review and an issues paper that can be read for further detail. This DVD covers the following 5 topics: our ageing population, local government and home and community care, the National Disability Insurance Scheme and its impact on local government, Commonwealth Government ageing policy and its impact, and finally the 6 key challenges for local government in aged and disability services. Australia's ageing population. Everyone knows our population is ageing, but let's recap. A century ago, just 4% of Australia's population was over 65. Today that figure has risen to 14%, and by 2050, 25% of the population will be 65 plus. Although this is a dramatic demographic shift, international research shows Australia is well placed to cope financially and socially. Local government and home and community care. All local governments in Victoria provide services for older people and for people with disabilities. Many of these are provided through the Home and Community Care or HAC program. HAC includes home help, personal care such as help with showering, delivered meals, respite for carers and other support programs to help people stay in their own homes or care for those with disabilities. While local government has already provided services for older people for many decades, the formalised program started in the 1980s, with local government contributing 20% of the cost. The Commonwealth and state governments paid the other 80%. The program has grown substantially since then. Funding arrangements have changed, and now local government pays on average 34% of the cost of the program. According to the MAV, the cost to local government is growing at 8.4% annually. Currently in Victoria, local government spends $110 million on HAC services annually. Ageing policy and its impact on local government. Healthcare and ageing policy are changing too. The Commonwealth Government has proposed taking full funding responsibility for aged care. This means funding will come direct from Canberra rather than through state governments as it does now. All states except Victoria and Western Australia have agreed to this new arrangement. Victoria, however, will continue with the status quo until 2015, and it's not known if the state government will accept the Commonwealth changes beyond that time. If the Victorian government does relinquish its role in HAC in 2015, many changes may occur. All inquiries will initially be handled through a national telephone service similar to that operated by the Department of Veteran Affairs, and new arrangements for assessment of people's eligibility will be established. Funding is likely to be subject to a competitive process rather than the direct grants that local government currently receives. Some not-for-profit agencies and private companies may have the ability to offer a greater range of services and will strive to be competitive on price. The Commonwealth may fund services on a regional basis rather than locally, favouring larger providers or requiring a consortium approach. And finally, performance will likely be rated and posted on a public website, much like the My School and My Hospital websites. The National Disability Insurance Scheme and its impact on local government. The Commonwealth Government has proposed a National Disability Insurance Scheme, or NDIS, to give all people with significant disabilities access to funds to purchase the services they need. Currently, 300,000 people with disabilities receive some services, but another 125,000 do not. The NDIS is structured as a rights model, not a welfare model, so people will have an entitlement to services of their choice. People with a disability will be allocated an allowance, and they will be able to determine the type of services and their service provider. The NDIS will mean big changes for local government. While the scheme is yet to be finalised, it's likely that the funding currently received for HAC disability services will be redirected into the NDIS. For most local governments, disability services are a relatively small part of HAC. If local government chooses to remain a provider of disability services, it may be necessary to market services to clients and introduce user pays charging. 6 key challenges for local government. Taken together, the NDIS and the new ageing policy create major challenges for local government in Victoria. It is difficult for local government to plan beyond 2015 until the Commonwealth and State agree on future plans for HAC in Victoria. Costs in HAC are rising faster than inflation and faster than rate increases in many councils. Initial access to aged care services will be through a national gateway or call centre. Local government may need to compete for funding. There is unlikely to be any direct funding for disability services in HAC. Over time, ratings of service providers may be on a public website, and residents will be able to compare a council's performance against that of other providers. It's clear that the changes in Commonwealth ageing and disability policy have significant implications for local government, and involvement of councils in further planning is vital. Some councils may consider that the HAC program could be better delivered through partner agencies. HAC budgets could then be reoriented towards other services that support well-being for older people in other ways. Early planning for the potential impacts of reform will place local governments in a vastly superior position to make informed decisions about the future.